morning everybody, my name is Crystal and welcome to my YouTube channel. Good morning. It's Tuesday morning, the sun is outside and we have a man dressed in orange. So you've got the orange fluorescent trousers, the orange top, going up and down Corey's Road with a leaf blower. So I think he's going up and down the road collecting the leaves, and they're landscaping again. So you can smell the newly mown grass smell coming through my bedroom window. It smells, for people that have hay fever, it's terrible. Or if you've got sinusitis or problems with, COPD, strong smells can make you feel sick. So now we've got newly mown grass smell, and this bloke keeps coming up and down the road with this noisy piece of garden machinery. Now I have my bedroom blind down till gone 9:30. I actually wasn't in the bedroom and I wasn't in the bed. I just keep the blind shut, because it keeps the noise out, it keeps the bright light out, and I don't want to hear heavy machinery noises. I don't want to hear it. The purpose people move away from London is to get away from all the hustle and bustle and the noise. And then it's very noisy down here. Very noisy. There's always some sort of loud noise going on, or some strong smell, whether it's sewage, shitty smell, manure smell, grass smell, glue smell, paint smell. I have to go out to walk my dog, I'm afraid, so I'm going to walk my dog. My mum rang just after I got up this morning, about half an hour afterwards, to say 8:50. It was quiet until my mother rang the phone. And this happened in Gloucestershire. I'd be sick in my bed, vomiting, being ill, and my mum would ring up between 6 and 7 in the morning. Ginestra, why don't you go outside? Why don't you do a bit of shopping? Why don't you just enjoy the day? And I said, Mum, I'm ill in bed. So he's got his plastic bag. I expect it. They're all landscaping. This is a new build flats. I've lived in this block of flats 4 years. My mum has Southern Housing as a landlord, and I've been round my mum's when the men have come out to cut a tree down by a window. My mum's got a tree by a window, a tree. I don't have access to any garden. I don't share a garden with anybody. I live in a block of 15 flats and I have a balcony. And at the moment it's okay. I've lived here 4 years. It's not falling apart. The other one that I lived at, the balcony's paint started coming off. I lived there, nearly 10 years? I think everyone craves a nice piece of garden and a bit of peace and quiet. But they're just building flats upon flats. Because we're overpopulated. That's why we've got global warming. It shouldn't be this hot in October. Alexa, good morning.
Good morning. On this day in 1925, Eileen Joel became the first female jockey to win an open horse race in the UK. She came first in the Newmarket Town Plate, having taken advantage of a loophole that didn't rule out women taking part.
So guys, I don't know if Nick Ferrari on LBC Radio is talking about how old is too old for a job. How old is too old to start looking for a job? And apparently it's 57. 57. My husband is 57 years old, and he's working. He works in a hospital. So Harold is too old to start searching for a job, or employers. How old do employers think he's too old to employ someone for a job? And apparently it's 57 years old. 57. And Nick Ferrari said Madonna was touring when she was 57, and she had a new album out when she was 57 years old. And Nick Ferrari was saying how he's got young children and it makes him feel young. You know, being surrounded by young people makes him feel young, which is true, isn't it? So let's see if they're still talking about it. Alexa, LBC Radio.
LBC London from Global Player.
Pure aspect of my career and my CV or my interviewing skills or my production skills or my writing or scripting, I'd get out of track. So my brother's sitting there, it's not going particularly well. And he says to this young woman, well, if you don't get this job, Sandra, whatever your name is, Sandra, if you weren't to get this job, what would you do? And she paused and she said, well, my mum lives around the corner, so I'd probably give her a cup of tea and we go down the shops. She didn't get the job. Coming up after the news, the final part of my interview with Boris Johnson. He talks about how he had to cope with his mother's sudden death as he's PM and reporting to PMQs hours later. 9:46 LBC News headlines. Thomas Watts.
Israeli troops have expanded their ground operation against Hezbollah into southwest Lebanon. The Transport Secretary has suggested HS2 could run into central London after all. And the main suspect in the Madeleine McCann case has been cleared of rape charges in a separate trial. LBC weather, sunny spells and scattered showers, a high of 18 degrees.
LBC Travel, I'm Joanne Webb. The M25 is blocked anti-clockwise just after junction 5 at the M26 because a car and a trailer have overturned and only one lane is open clockwise. So as a result, there are huge delays both ways. Also on the M25, it's very slow clockwise at junction 9 at Leatherhead, and that's all down to an accident. Also very busy on the M11 southbound from the M25 to junction 5 at Loughton, and that's all down to an accident. In Mile End, there were queues on the Mile End Road in both directions because of an ongoing investigation. On the trains, Elizabeth Line services can't run between Paddington and Abbeywood. It's all down to a power problem, and LNER trains still are disrupted between King's Cross and Stevenage because of a track problem.
Coming up at 10 on LBC, James O'Brien.
Behind the whining and possibly the envy, just how much good or bad does private education do to this country?
James O'Brien on LBC.
Perfect.
Right, so unfortunately that conversation had finished about how old it is, too old to be, you know, employers looking for new work people, 57. And then they're talking about the death of Boris Johnson's mother, a sudden death while he was Prime Minister. And, you know, I'm somebody's mum. My mum's somebody's mum. I'm sure there's more mums. And we've got somebody going up and down the road, all dressed in orange, landscaping down the road with a strong smell of freshly mown grass. I'm indoors, but I'm not in bed. See you later.